Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here with some lace and I'm here with a ton of different distress inks, and I thought let's just do some lace dyeing. Haven't done any of this for a really long time. So yep, I always tend to want to hoard my lace, I have to confess. If I've actually spent the time kind of dyeing it, I then don't really want to use it because, you know, well, I don't know really why, but yeah, I invariably kind of think, oh, I've spent all that time dyeing it. Oh, I don't want to use it, which is ridiculous because actually it doesn't really take that long and I could always do some more. But yeah, for some reason, I just want to then hoard it if I've actually taken the time to dye it. So I've cut it into chunks, and then I've got some other lace here, which I'm just going to cut this down also. This is obviously much thinner, you know, strips of lace, but that's fine. So I'm again going to just cut it down into little manageable chunks like that. And then we're going to just go for it and see what kinds of results that we get with all these wonderful different coloured distress inks. So I've separated them out. I've got the, oops, green one made it over there. The pinks, the lilacs, the greens, the blues. So we're just going to kind of like work our way across. So weirdly, I've got this Victorian Velvet, which this one I've had for ages. This one's a Distress Oxide. This one's an ink. I don't know why that one looks pink and that one looks really red. Whether or not they would kind of dye the lace pretty similar, I really don't know. But let's give them a try and see. So I'm going to first of all just take this one, which looks like on the surface it's a lot darker. So lots of that. And then lots of water. Okay, now I did also bring along a rubber glove, not a rubber glove, but you know, a plastic glove, which is very unusual for me to be even partially organised. But yeah, I didn't want to end up with really dirty hands today, so just do this. Okay. Oh dear, this one's not going very well at all, is it? Not really. Should have probably wet the lace first, but oh, there we go. It's putting it up now a bit more. Yeah, I mean, weird because it doesn't really look kind of the dark colour that it looks, you know, in the pad or anything. But yeah, we shall see. I'm going to have to put on a second glove. I was hoping that I was going to get away with just wearing one, but I think I need to put on two. Let me just put on a second one, because otherwise I'm going to end up with, you know, one hand really clean, one hand completely covered. So I've got these really big gloves, but that's fine. So, okay. Now, again, it doesn't really matter if it's quite patchy, because you're going to end up with then quite pretty, you know, quite pretty looking effects. But obviously if it's looking too patchy, you can just then keep on rubbing it in till you get the desired effect. Okay, like that. Okay, whoops, just then give that a bit of a squish from the water. Now, all of these laces that I'm using, they're, I say white, they're probably just a slight off-white. So, yeah, kind of slight off-white type colour. So, we'll just see how they go. So, that's the Victorian Velvet in the dark sort of shade. Now, obviously, when these dry, they may dry slightly different how they look right now. So, I'm going to try my very best to be slightly organised and keep them with the, you know, the pads that they are, so that we know what we've used for each one. So that's that Victorian Velvet. Let's use this one and see, can you see, this looks completely different colour, doesn't it? So it's very strange. I mean, admittedly, you know, that first one I used is very old. I don't know whether that would be making the difference, but let's give this one a try. So again, just going with this lace. Now, isn't that really strange? Because now that the lace is kind of picking up the colour, it really doesn't look very different to the other one. which, how weird. Would never have thought that those two ink pads would then end up looking the same, would you? Well, I wouldn't anyway. So a big smoosh in there. Okay. Well, they are looking a bit different actually now I kind of look at them, but yeah, I mean, but not so very different, to be honest. So again, just wet that a bit more. Okay, now I must try my best not to hoard these laces because, you know, it kind of makes it pointless doing it, doesn't it? If then you just hoard them all, but I'm just going to quickly put a little bit more down. Okay, like that. And then I'm going to put this, whoops, put this one. So this is the Victorian Oxide, the Distress, Victorian Velvet, but the Distress Oxide rather than the Distress Ink. You know, whether or not that was what was making the difference to the colour, I don't know, but very, very, very pretty, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely yummy, yummy colour. So just to give you an idea of the colour between the two, they look very similar, don't they? So I think probably when they dry, they're going to look pretty, you know, pretty similar, to be honest. Okay. And I think most of these will dry up lighter than they look here. So if you're thinking, oh gosh, that looks really dark, I think it will probably dry up lighter than it looks. So mop the desk out here. Okay, next one is this worn lipstick. Now again, this looks super bright, doesn't it? So let's just see how this looks. And it does look very bright. Now if they're very bright, what you can do is obviously mix them with, mix them with some, either some coffee dye, or you could mix them with some vintage photo, something like that, that would sort of tone them down a bit, because I don't want this to look like luminous. Oh my goodness, what did I just say? Oh, I don't want it to look luminous. Look at it now. My goodness, could it look any more luminous? Oh dear. I mean, that looks very, very, very luminous, doesn't it? Yeah. I do like the colour, but it's not looking very vintage, is it, if I'm truthful. So let's just smoosh that around in that Distress Oxide. Okay, so that I feel is looking a bit too bright. You know, I would struggle to use that to make it look very vintage. That being said, what I could do is leave it to dry, see how it dries up, because it might dry, you know, quite a bit sort of paler than it's actually looking. And then I could always just Distress ink it, you know, when I come to use it. So that might be the better alternative rather than straight away going in, mixing it with the Distress ink now. So yeah, we'll do that, I think. So that's that one. Right, we're moving on to the purpley lilacs. So we've got this one, Shaded Lilac. Now again, this is looking like it's making no colour impact whatsoever on here. So oh, it is though. It is in real life. So yeah, let's just pop a bit more down. Okie dokie. Might have to put some more down here in a moment, but it's just quite a nice, quick, easy way of dyeing your lace, isn't it, to be honest? You know, because it's all just concentrated on my mat. Not having to get any kind of tub out or anything like that, you know, just literally, you know, dabbing it all in, and then very, very quickly you're able to just dye the lace. So quite a nice way of doing it, I think. I haven't done this, like I say, for such a long time that I just thought, you know what, fancy making some different coloured laces. So, and I do have lace packs available in my shop at the moment, so if you wanted to head over and get yourself some lace. Now, the lace packs do contain some coloured laces as well. I mean, I'm obviously using, you know, creamy white lace here, or it's not really cream, but just an off-white lace. So the packs may well contain some coloured laces, and of course you can dye coloured lace too. So, you know, don't kind of think, you know, if it's coloured you're stuck with it. You can dye that as well. So this was the shaded lilac. Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? And I think that's going to dry really, really pretty, I have to say. So let's just mop up there. Okay, now the next one, this Seeded Preserves. This looks very, very strong, doesn't it? So again, might kind of be a bit too strong, a bit too in your face. Let's just take a bit of that lace there. Again, just going to sort of wet it before I put it down. I'm actually scared to put it into this one because it looks so vibrant, but oh my goodness, look at the colour of that. Oh dear. And that one's very, very strong, isn't it? Yeah, I've never used that one to dye any lace, I'm pretty sure. And again, just mop up all that colour. And just, yep, go in there. I thought these would be wonderful to make lots of lace clusters and things like that. So, you know, be really nice to have a bunch of coloured lace on hand to then be able to make other things from it. So, just going to again. Oops! Oh, sorry. Hang on. I've just dropped that on the floor. Oops. Okay. Oh dear. Right. Okay. There we go. Again, not sure about that colour if I'm truthful, but you know, it will probably dry up a lot paler than it looks here. So hopefully that will kind of lighten up during the drying. Let's just mop up that. So that was the Seedless Preserves. Okay, so the next one, Dusty Concord, again looks very strong, doesn't it? Very strong colour. So let's put that down there. Okay, again, let's just squish that down. And I'm going to just use one of these bigger pieces of lace here. I'll just wet that before I go in dyeing. Right. Might have to wipe my gloves in a minute because they're possibly getting a little bit too contaminated now. Okay. Give a good smoosh around. Okay, and there's a bit more. Right, hopefully that will be the last of this. So this one is Dusty Concord. I'm just going to kind of intentionally put the bits that don't seem to have any on them into that colour. I mean, to be honest, I don't really mind it if it's all, you know, patchy. I think that can look quite pretty, but I'll try my best to get a bit of a better coverage. Okay. So, I mean, I've got a couple of little patchy parts, but not too bad, I think. So, okay, just smoosh that round again. And just pop some more water on, and then just give it a big squidge. Just to move that colour around a bit more. Okay. And isn't that just such a gorgeous colour? And like I say, I mean, they will dry up slightly darker. So if you're thinking, oh my goodness, that looks super bright. I mean, it does look super bright, but hopefully it will dry up a little bit a little bit calmer than that. Right, just mopping up the desk in between, because we're going to go on to the greens now, so I don't really want to have contamination between the purple and the green. Let me just wipe my hand with a dry wipe. Okay. Right, which one shall we go in with? Go in with this is the Bundled Sage, which I love this colour, I have to say. So again, I'm not sure whether I've ever actually used this to dye some lace. So interested to see how this is going to look. Yeah, I mean, now I'm doing this, I think, oh, why am I so pathetic? Why don't I do this more often? Because it's really fun to have all these different coloured laces. I don't know why I don't, to be honest. Instead, what I do is, like I say, I do it once in a blue moon and then just hoard the whole lot. Must not hoard this. I think the last time I actually did some, you know, some lace dyeing was probably during our series that we did, what to do with the length of lace, which again, you know, I would like to make some of the things that we made during that series, because I've pretty much run out of everything that we made during that series. So yeah, I'd like to make some reruns of some of those things. I seem to recall making these gorgeous little books that were lovely. So I'd like to make those. I'd like to make some lace clusters. I'd like to make some of the lace pockets that we made. Can't remember what else we actually did in that series, but okay. I mean, I don't know. I really love this colour, but weirdly on here, looks a little bit yellowy, a little bit lime green, which is a bit unexpected. So again, it might dry very beautifully. If it doesn't, and it dries, you know, looking quite how it looks now, I will probably re-dye it maybe with something else to mix it so as it looks less yellow. Just because this is perhaps a colour I would struggle to use now. But, you know, we'll see. So that one, again, just mop up the desk. Right, next one is the peeled paint, and we have used this before. We used this, I think, in the series. Now, look at how strong that looks. I don't know whether you can see that on the screen. My goodness. My goodness, that looks really strong green, doesn't it? But hopefully it will be less so once we do it. Again, just really wet my lace, wet the ink. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at the colour of this. It's really, really green. Right, now weird, because I don't remember it looking like this when we did that series. So I said we used this, maybe we didn't. Maybe we didn't. Or this one definitely will dry up very, very differently to how it's looking currently. Let's hope anyway, because my gosh, that's a very, very sort of bright olive greeny colour, isn't it? And I can't picture myself really using this, to be honest. I mean, I'm not saying I don't like the colour, but I'm just not sure how usable I will find it. But, you know, I'm sure it will dry differently. Yeah. Isn't it fun to see how these turn out? So, yeah, I do really like, you know, just seeing how they're going to turn out. So we've got that little bit there. Now, what I should do is, if I have a favourite out of these, is I should actually then dye a whole ton of lace in the favourite colour. You know, that would be... yeah, that would be a really good idea, to be honest. Whether I will remember to do that, who knows. But let me just dry my hands. Right, now, oh no, I'm going to use this one first. So this is Cracked Pistachio, which, look at that yummy colour there. Goodness, it's lovely, isn't it? Absolutely lovely. Oh, might use a bigger piece of lace, because otherwise I feel like this is going to be a lovely colour and I won't have much of it. I'm going to have to top up my spray in a moment. Okay. Oh dear. Again, another one that I'm thinking, oh, let's hope that this really dries paler, because it's very bright, isn't it? You know, yummy colour, but very bright. Don't know whether we used this ever before for lace, to be honest. Maybe we didn't. Maybe we haven't. Okay. Very interesting, isn't it, though, to see all the different colours. Yeah, I might have to have like a little box of dyed lace, like where I keep it separate to my other laces, where I can hoard it separately. Okay. I'm just going round, picking up some extra bits. I wonder if I could just dab it on to the odd patches that it's not picked up, like that. And then, so this is a little bit winging it, but thinking wet that and then just rub it all in again, smooshing it down. Yeah, maybe we haven't dyed any lace in this, to be honest, because I don't feel like this is a colour I've seen particularly before. And again, I'm feeling it's very bright. I definitely struggle to, you know, to make vintage looking things in this lace, but who knows? You know, who knows what it will dry like. If it dries toned right down, it might look completely different to how it looks now. Right, let's just mop up again. Now the next one that we're going to try, I've got pine needles, it's called. Now this is very, 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 very green. I feel like I'm not going to like this colour much. I don't know. Oh, although I'm loving how it looks on the craft mat. I don't know whether you can see that, but my goodness, what a lovely colour. That's just shining through on the anywhere where there's white on the craft mat. So right, again, I'm going to have to top up my water in a moment, so hold on. Okay. Got a bit of a smoosh around. I feel like I should really like this. I'm not sure I do really like it, to be honest, but it may dry really beautifully. Who knows? Yeah, it feels like it's not as, you know, as green as I'd hoped, really. I mean, it is pretty green, don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's not looking as good as I'd hoped. Let me just go along again. Just any of the pieces that are a bit patchy, just going along direct with the pad. And let's just dropped it in my lap. I'm actually wearing my onesie at the moment, and I know I say this all the time, but yeah, I'm filming this ahead, so it's still quite cold weather, so it might be that this video doesn't go up sometime. It might be summer by the time it goes up, so yeah, but my onesie is white fluffy, so I hope I haven't got green anywhere on it. I think that's going to dry pretty nicely, to be honest. So yeah, I think, you know, I will love that once it's dry. Right, let's just mop up again. Look at how strong that green is. It picked up a lot on the white. Okay, and a lot on this dry wipe as well. So right, now for the next one, I'm just going to top my water bottle up. So in fact, might even change my gloves because that was such a strong colour green that I don't want to contaminate everything else that I do. So I've just got a bottle of water here that I'm just going to top this up with. So yeah, save me going to the sink. Just going to do it over my bin so that if I spill any, it's just over the bin. Okay, well, I went okay right till the end and then I just overfilled it and it splashed out into the bin. There we go. Right, okay, and then put my gloves back on. Might have to cut down another strip of lace because I think I've only got the big bits of lace now left. Okay, oh, I actually can't wait to see some of these when they're dried, to be honest. So yeah, let me know below, have you got a favourite so far? Which one are you liking? I mean, I quite like them all, to be honest, but like I say, some I just can picture that I'm going to struggle to use more than others. So, you know, it's not necessarily I don't like them, but I would maybe struggle to use them. I've just snipped into my gloves. So much for not getting it all over my hands. Right, okay, now this one is salvaged patina. My gosh, I mean, how yummy is that colour? Absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? Now, I feel like we did use this one, but I know I've said that quite a few times now, and then I've come to dye the lace and thought, perhaps we haven't. I feel like we did dye with this one before. So, salvaged patina. I'm really thoroughly soaking the lace. Okay. Go in like that. So again, this is looking quite strong at the moment, but I'm thinking it will dry far paler than this. So yeah, if it's looking very, you know, very dark, I think it will be okay once it's dried. I'm going to put some more down. I might just do it direct to the lace. I'm being really lazy. Don't know why, but yeah, kind of feeling like this is perhaps a good method to use, although I might end up with just really strong bits. But let's just pop it down like that, and then lots of water. Like that. Okay. Okay. Loving that colour, don't you just love that colour? So yeah, I'm thinking this one, I'm sure we did use before, and my gosh, it was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that one. Right, dry up the mat. Wipe my hands again. Okay, so we're moving on to the blues now. So we're going to use this, which is speckled egg. This is like a duck egg blue colour. I mean, I love duck egg blue. It's one of my favourite colours. So again, I might do a big piece of lace. I'm running out of the big pieces of lace now, so yeah, I'll have to be stingy now. I might only have one left, I think, after this. So lots of spray on there, lots of spray on the okie dokie. like that. Oh, that's weird. This doesn't look like it's picking it up, to be honest. It probably is. I don't know whether it's quite a pale colour that you can't really tell. But I feel like it's not really picked up very much at all. It might just be where it's not a strong colour compared to the last few that we've done, which were so bright. So again, put lots more down. Remember, this is the speckled egg. Okay. It's good to experiment with the colours, to be honest, and good to experiment with the distress inks because, you know, they really can be quite different to how you expect. So, yeah, this is quite a good little experimentation type thing that we're doing here. Just seeing how the different distress inks and distress oxides, oops, the different ink pads turn out. So, there we go. And just give that a good smoosh around. Okay. Beautiful colour. Absolutely beautiful. A little bit on the patchy side, but like I said, I don't really mind that. So, let's just again mop up. Okay, now I have got one here called Weathered Wood. Now, I'm not sure whether to use that, to be perfectly honest. I feel like this is very grey. So, yeah, it is part of the blue sort of colours, but I do feel like it's got quite a grey look to it, which I don't feel like would be so useful. But that being said, I do have some greyish coloured lace, which actually I use quite a lot, so maybe this would actually be pretty good. Let's see. And maybe it will show more blue than grey anyway, so I mean, actually it's looking quite a pretty colour, isn't it? Oh, again, I'm just going to be really lazy and actually dab my pad straight onto the, do you know, I nearly said my iPad. I mean, hello, not my iPad, obviously. Okay, lots of the ink onto the lace directly. Very patchy. Done this very patchy. Now I'm sure that's more, you know, user error, but it's quite hard to see this onto the mat. So yeah, I'm not making a very good job of this, if I'm truthful. There we go. Be quite interested to see how this one turns out, because it's, yeah, it is you know, it is quite grey, but actually I've got this funny feeling that this might turn out really beautiful and sort of a delicate colour once it dries. So we'll see. We'll see how that looks. Pop that to one side. Okay. Right, okay, next one. I've got Broken China. Now, again, this one I feel like we've possibly used before. It's very, very turquoise, as you can see. So, yeah. Okay. Take a long length. Again, just wet the lace quite a bit. Wet the ink. Okay. In we go. Okie dokie. Right. So again, it's looking very strong colour. Okay. Let's just wet that a bit more. Okay, and a good smoosh about. Like that. Okay. Okie dokie. So very, very deep colour, but I think probably will dry a bit paler. I mean, I'm saying this about all of these. Who knows? Perhaps they won't, and then I'll just have to read my words. But it'll be interesting to see, won't it? Right, now the next ones that I've got Salty Ocean, Faded Jeans, and Blueprint Sketch. Now, Blueprint Sketch is, of course, very, very deep blue. I don't know if you can see that one, which I definitely used before. This one is the Broken China. Oh, no, sorry, this one's the Salty Ocean. Broken China was the one we just used. I mean, again, be interesting to see whether this is much different to the Broken China. I'm kind of thinking it will be similar, but who knows? Maybe it won't be. Okay. Oh my goodness, look at how bright this is looking. I'm not loving this one. This looks very, very bright. But, you know, the funny thing is, once they're dry, who's to say that these aren't the ones that I like the best? You know, these very bright ones, they might dry really, you know, really lovely. I mean, definitely I'm feeling, oh, I'm going to struggle to use this one. But who knows? Maybe it will be dulled down by the time it dries. We shall see. We shall see. Right, there we go. Okay, that's that one. Very, 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 very turquoise, isn't it? Very bright. I mean, if I just show you those two together, that's Broken China, that's Salty Ocean. Definitely prefer the Broken China right at this moment. Okay, let's dry this up, and then now I'm going to use the Faded Jeans first. This Faded Jeans I feel like is also quite grey, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to love this, but we shall see. Haven't used this for a long time, the Faded Jeans, so you know, it might be much less grey than I remember. I mean, no, not looking grey at all. Looking very blue. Very, very blue. Almost more like a navy. Well, not necessarily navy, but verging on navy. It's actually a gorgeous colour, isn't it? So strange, really, because maybe the ones that I really love on paper are not necessarily the ones that I really love on the lace. Because definitely I don't think the Faded Jeans is one of my favourites on paper, but I do actually really like it on the lace. That's a very pretty colour, isn't it? Okay, just put a bit more down. Okay, didn't put any water on that, so might have messed up there a bit, but never mind. I'll put that down by accident, face down. There we go. Okay, so pretty nice. Again, maybe a little bit patchy, so perhaps I should just smoosh that a little bit more. There we go, that's probably a bit better. Right, whoops. Okay, I do really like that. Now that's weird, isn't it? That's Faded Jeans, which was the one I said I didn't normally like. Absolutely gorgeous colour, isn't it? And very denim-like. Yeah, very denim-like, which on paper I don't feel like I feel that, but It's a long time since I've used it, like I say. So, I mean, to be honest, who knows? And, you know, taste change as well, don't they? So, you know, maybe just didn't like it previously, but maybe I prefer it now. Right, I'm going to use this colour, this lace now for this, because this is that blueprint sketch, which I feel like we did definitely use in that house, you know, using up a length of lace. And I loved it, loved it, loved it. So, yeah, let's go for that. Okay, there we go. See, again, this is looking kind of really awful, isn't it? Very, very, very bright. But I feel like this dried absolutely gorgeous. Who knows? Maybe actually it will dry and I'll think, no, I didn't like this one that much. Or, like I say, maybe my tastes have just changed, because that was quite a long time ago that we did that series. Maybe that was about 3 years ago, or maybe longer. Time just flies so much, doesn't it? It's hard to remember, but it's just... Okay. Good smoosh about. Right, let's just quickly go in with my ink pad, I think, direct to the lace quickly. There we go. Okay. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing this, to be honest. I haven't ever seen anyone else really ink the lace up in this way, but hey, we all do things in our own ways, don't we? So there's no rules for crafting. We just all do things in the ways that we find easiest. Okay, good smoosh about. Okie dokie. Open that out. I mean, that one's not looking lovely right now, is it? Which is really weird, because I feel like I really loved this one when I used it before. Okay, right. Good smoosh about. Right, okay. So that one is the blueprint sketch, which again, very vibrant type colour. It looks a little bit more purple there than it does, you know, when it dries, if I recall. But like I say, maybe I can't quite remember as accurately as I'd thought. But yeah, so I'm going to leave them all to dry, and yeah, we will come back and we will do something with these bits of lace. Maybe not all of them, but yeah, we'll definitely have a play around. So I hope that you enjoyed that bit of an experimentation with some of the colours of the distress inks. You know, oh gosh, now look what I've done with that one. Oh dear, that's not very good, is it? So now my cracked pistachio has now got some of the pine needles dripped onto it, which is not great. So yeah, we've now not got a true representation of this, but I will just put some water on there. I've taken my gloves off now, so much for keeping my hands really ink free. They'll now be really inky. Right, let's just see if I can smoosh that without touching it too much. Okay, right, I'm going to leave that. I don't mind if it's got some little patchy bits of ink on there. And I've also done the same there, contaminated them. So yeah, not very good, but never mind. Right, so I hope that you like that bit of an experimentation. Like I say, we will come back and we will, you know, work with some of these. And yeah, hopefully make some lovely yummy bits from all of our super scrumptious coloured laces. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate a big thumbs up. Let me know which is your favourite colour. I still am veering towards these, yeah, because I'm a bit of a pink girl. So yeah, really love those. Weirdly, I do really like this weathered wood in the grey. Strange, because that's the one I was almost veering on not using. I do really like this one. Again, one that I was debating not using. So yeah, all goes to show, doesn't it? So yep, let me know your favourite, and thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate a big thumbs up to the video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate you subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much then. Bye.